Okay, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm work at the Risk Prevention Department of French Ministry of Environment.
Est-ce que c'est coupé de ton côté?
It seems to be okay for us.
Okay, it's okay. Unlike most you, I'm not a specialist in risks, but in digital transformation. I'm going to try and show you we use digital tools to help people to prevent risk. At the ouais, c'était pour Florence là.
Je sais pas, j'ai l'impression que c'est beaucoup de choses. Okay.
Just wait a minute, please.
Sorry for the delay, we are managing it.
Okay. Second.
Well, you can continue. We see the
Okay, thank you. Sorry for the disagreements. Next, please. Yes. As a general department for risk prevention, we manage natural risks as such as floods, earthquakes, tsunamis, and landscape, as well as industrial risks as associated with factories, nuclear activities, mine, and polluted soils. Our main work is upstream of the crisis. We need to know what the hazards are, reduce them where it's possible, and publicize them so that people can be prepared and the impact of possible events are limited. The solutions that I'm going to show you is a part of population prevention activities. In France, we have a set of regulations known as an IAL, Information Acquéreur Locataire, which is in place since 2003 and has been incorporated into our environment code since 2003. Property owners have had to provide to their buyers and tenants with an assessment of the main dangerous phenomena, pollution, flooding, earthquakes, etc., to which their property is exposed. This invaluable information when making a decision and for the future occupant at the property. These regulations were tightened in 2023 with a link to geo-risk must be included in all property advertisement, and as you see on the right, sorry, and a risk report must be present at the first visit to a property, whether for sales or rent. The aim of this document is to make buyers aware of the risk involved, any planning restrictions that may apply, and to help them to be better prepared in the event of a hazard occurring. And we have a free service to carry out this risk assessment to help property owners comply with this obligation, and more generally, to help the general people understand the risks that affect them. This service is geo-risk. The geo-risk website celebrates its 10th anniversary this summer, It underwent a major overhaul in 2022, just before the EIL change we have just been talking about. It was a very complex website, especially for professionals and experts. The website was completely rewritten with an individual universe in everyday non-scientific French, accessible and understandable to everyone. Today, almost 30% of visits are made from a smartphone, which shows that individuals have invested the website. The website now receives more than 8 billion visits in years, half of them from property professionals. We publish 5 million risk reports, and also have system feed many other informations. Since 2/3 it's used via APA, application programming interface, or by downloading. One last word, next, if you please, yes. One last word to show you that we cover 24 different risks depending on the data we have. That's why we are constantly working to improve data production and, above all, to create a national repository of risk knowledge. The risk comprehend 3 universes. Today, we are going to concentrate on private individual, but we also have free information and services for mayors and local authorities. And of course, we share all your data with open data with experts. We provide them a detailed view of risk, regulations, and ways to reducing vulnerability. I've prepared a short video presentation of the website, but it's for a better understanding. I let Clara comment it to you.
Thank you, Nicolas. So just 1 minute, so I can show you the video.
Let's go.
Sorry for the delay. Okay. Okay, normally you can see the video. What I'm doing.
Wait, what a video.
Okay.
Yes.
So good morning, you all. We are going to take you on a guided tour of GeoRisk, starting with research on Google. So for us, it's very important that the site is very well referenced because we want to communicate about risks. So it appears as the first website when we type GeoRisk or risk on Google. The site is naturally in French, targeting the French audience. As it was built using best practice, it's also available in English if we translate it on Google Translate. So we are going to do that so it's easier for you to follow. So we will get back to the first part afterward, but we've got different parts. We've got parts for individuals, for experts, and for communities. Here you can see that there are some videos that explains, for example, what is the dangers, what is a risk. And also we have a part with some news and the different parts dedicated to different audience. We are going to focus on the community, on the particular individuals part today. So it's written in everyday French, so it's easier to understand for the general audience. Here we are going to type one address. which is located in the city of Nîmes in the south of France. So when we go to this address, we're going to see the different risks that exist at this address and in the city. Here we go. We have a very nice area because it's located near to a Roman arena. And we see that at this address, different risks exist, and we can have also the risk report of the risk that exists at this address. So it's very easy to download it and to have access to all the information at this address. Then you see that, for example, the different risks that exist here are flood risk, earthquake. Then if we go below, there is also a risk of land movements, forest fire, radon risk, for example. In the same way, we have also access to the technological risk. So, for example, if we go on the flood risk, we can have different information. So we can see the perimeter of the flood zone that exists around Nîmes. There is one zone that needs to be a little higher up, for example. And we see that there are urban restrictions also on urban development. You can see also here that there is a map showing the potential for groundwater to rise, which means the water table that can rise when there is too much flooding or too much rain. And then we have also detailed information. We can have access to some legal documents here, for example, the prevention plan, and it allows to know better how to prevent and minimize the flood risk. If we go a little below, we can see also that the different events of floods that occurred in the city since 1982. Here we have 20 events, so that it's quite important. Then to give you an idea, so the page on this risk are quite detailed because it explains also very well what type of risk are at the address, because there are many types of flood risk, and we can have a small definition on the different flood risk that exist at this address. We can have also some key figures, some small videos, and also people can access some PDFs. So it's not translated here, but it indicates all the different reflexes and good behaviors someone can adopt to prevent the event of flood risk. So in the same way, we can, for example, go to have elements on reducing vulnerability, have infographics also to understand what are the weak points that exist at this address. And it helps to become a stakeholder in the local risk management and to become more resilient also. So it's also written in everyday French, so it's easier for people to understand without a scientific language. And the aim is to increase knowledge about the risk. And so what it happens, for example, is that in anticipation, you can know how to exactly act. So here we are again on the flood risk page, but we are going to look at another address that we are going to look for on a map. So we don't know, for example, the exact address, but we can find a home by searching it on a map. We are going, for example, to the city of Fréjus, which is also located in the south of France. And we can find, for example, one house here and access the risk that exists on that house. So if we go to the risk portal, we can see that there are, for example, coastal risks such as tsunami. There is also a risk of shrinkage and swelling of clay soils because it causes cracks in houses. And another risk that exists is also the radon risk, which is one natural radioactive gas. So then we can access also on the whole area and, for example, see the existing forest fire in the area. There are also some legal documents here. So you have, as mentioned for the flood risk, all the different definitions, good reflexes, and preparation behaviors to prevent the forest fire risk, for example. If we go to a town nearby, we can also see some industrial risks that exist. So we are not going to go very far. Here you can see that there are 3 different industrial risks. They may be also a nuclear risk, but we won't go on this risk today. Then if we go, for example, on the risk of on the risk classification, we can see that there are 3 factories called Civiso factories nearby. And we can get information on the level of activity, for example, and the authorizations also. The other information given here are the administrative situation, for example. And we can also access to the different dangerous elements that it contains. So we'll say that no. Here are the authorizations, as mentioned previously. And you can see that there are authorizations since 2005, for example, and also inspection reports. So we can have regular inspections on dangerous installations, and the inspection reports are published also in French. But here, for example, we can see that the last inspection report was published in 2023. What we have also noticed about these industrial plants, it's that some work has been requested to maintain safety around the site. So if we go back, we can see, for example, another industrial risk, which is linked to the transport of hazardous materials with the presence of one hydrocarbon pipeline. So here also we have more precise information on where it is, but even if we don't know where it is, we know that it's close. On the industrial risk, also we have soil pollution. So we have information that is not always very clear, but which is important for people. So we have polluted soil that are going to be identified, for example, in this map. And we can access to the constraints, the town planning, as you can see here. And we aim to have a real effort on the transparency, because the administration has to create confidence with people. So it's important that the information is extremely transparent and that it is available and accessible also to the main audience. So we will go further on that, and we see that there are also other specific risks. Here we go that there are some information that say that there is an existing risk in the town, but we don't know exactly whether or not it's located at the address. But also to know that there is a risk in the town, it helps to prevent the risk, the danger, and know how to reduce their vulnerability. Then on this page, we have two other important tools. One is the DCRIM. The DCRIM is a municipal document for information on major risk, and it's published by the town. As you see, there is one document, for example, here, and that's compulsory. It's personalized for the town. And then we have, as mentioned before by Nicolas, the IAL tool to inform buyers and tenants about the risk existing on a particular address. So I will stop here. Thank you for listening, and I will let the floor to the monitors. Thank you.